It is our first, I guess, NFL game recap episode.
Yeah.
It's funny. We started this show probably at the least opportune time in the middle of end of February. We said, you know what, let's launch this NFL show. And all we really had was the draft to talk about. And then that ended up being very fruitful because the Browns drafted Shedeur Sanders. But here we are, a full weekend of preseason football. Don't get me wrong. It's just preseason football. We're not going to overreact too much, or at least I'm not. I can make no promises over there.
Oh, it's overreaction city today.
This fucker over here is going to overreact like crazy. But I'm curious. Shedeur Sanders gets the start, plays well. What letter grade are you giving Shedeur? Week 1, preseason football. Throwing to Jonathan Smith and Robert Giuseppe, and I mean, just fucking guys. Some guys, I'm like, who in the hell is that? I'm like, Googling. I'm like, where'd he go to college? I never even heard of him in college.
We had a couple guys that were, local kids. I know the kid from Kent State was making headlines with his one-handed grab.
Oh, yeah. Just ballers.
Sal Cannella was our leading receiver.
Sal Cannella, a guy that I don't want to wish anything on anyone, knock on wood, pray for the kid, hope he's a great player. But you'll probably never hear his name ever again after preseason football's over. He probably won't even be in preseason next year. It's just how this works. Yeah. When Sal Cannella is your leading receiver and Amani Marshall is your leading rusher.
He actually looked kind of nice, though. I was kind of surprised with how he looked. But our whole running back room is in shambles right now with the Quinshon situation, which hopefully maybe there's some good news coming. It sounds like he might be dropped of charges pretty soon, which would be good for the Browns because, oh boy, did Trey Henderson look good this past weekend, Zach?
Oh boy, did he look good.
Housing 100-yard kickoff.
Opening kickoff, it just pisses me off because for 3 years I was ranting on Menace to Sports about how they should put him back to return kicks. I watched Saquon Barkley do it at Penn State. Travion would be outstanding, but there's this theme at Ohio State to not put those dynamic, great players back to return kicks and punts because of a risk of injury, I guess, most specifically kickoffs. And of course, his first kickoff I've ever seen him return is 100 yards to the house in the NFL. Wild times. But we got some winners and losers. Ashton Genty's fucking terrible. Maybe overreaction. Maybe he'll be really good at some point. But boy, was he left a lot to wonder. So did Tet McMillan, my other player that I thought was wildly overrated going into the draft. So we got movers and shakers. We got winners and losers. But I'm curious in the chat. Give Shedeur Sanders a grade through one game. Overreact, underreact, however you want. Give me a letter grade. Was he an A-, B+, A+? What letter grade are you giving Shedeur Sanders after his first start in Cleveland? And this is not a question for the chat, but we're going to talk about is he's got to get reps with the ones now, right? I mean, he's done enough, right?
I've seen enough.
He earned at least some reps. Did he not? I mean, not only has he been performing well in training camp with the 2s and 3s since he became a Cleveland Brown, but now he went out and played well in the preseason game.
In a spot where a lot of people were saying that the Browns were putting him in a position to fail because of the lack of reps all throughout preseason, and for him to come out and play the way he did.
I still think that was a dumb take, and we talked about it on Thursday's show. I mean, he played with the guys he's been playing with. That was the second and third string. Yeah. Like, that's who he's been playing with. So I never bought into that. The Browns are setting him up for failure. He didn't get any reps with the ones. I'm like, yeah, but the ones aren't playing. So, like, he got a lot of reps with the guys that are playing. Yeah. But Shedeur Sanders, give me a letter grade. How'd he do in Cleveland? And if you're on Twitter, hit that retweet. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. NFL's back, baby. And we got games to talk about. Let's get it going. Lukey, let them know what time it is, Bubba. It is. They need to level up.
I think we have some freaks in Menace Army.
I'm okay with that. Go watch the fucking film. But I appreciate you for riding with us, Menace Army. Menace out. Let's get to the show.
Let's get to it. I guess some preseason week 1 takeaways. We're kind of going to go through the whole slate. There was a lot to unpack this weekend.
Everyone played games.
Yeah.
Lots of games to talk about.
It was great, man. Having football on like every day. Just, again, it's preseason, but just having it on like in the background.
Yeah.
Was just like nice. I don't know. It was soothing about it.
It was great to, you got to watch Joe Burrow play 2 drives. You got to watch actual guys that are going to play some. And then you got to watch a bunch of rookies that you were excited to see for the first time kind of go out there and at least give you some flashes. And then you get late in the game after halftime and it's like, all right, just leave it on. Don't pay attention. But if a touchdown happens, watch the replay. Like you just had football on. It was awesome.
Oh, it was great. And shout out, I believe you're 3-0 now on your preseason picks.
Dude, I just can't miss, apparently.
Browns money line. That was it won by 20 points.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
The Cleveland parlay, Guardians, Browns money line hit. And hit easily.
Oh, yeah. Big time. You had the Tribe one, I think 9-5 Friday night too.
Yeah.
So it was easy wins all the way around. The Eagles covered their 6.5 points, or I think they were getting 5.5 or 6.5 against the Bengals on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Lions, I believe, too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Minus 5.5.
5.5 or 6.5. Either way, it cleared. I mean, it's just apparently I'm not good at betting, but I'm really good at NFL preseason.
Hey, ride the wave, man.
Hey, in a world where you want to be good at something, at least I'm good at something. Preseason betting.
Week 2 locks coming later this week.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some, I guess, prayer hands in the chat for in that Detroit game. Scary moment with Maurice Norris, the Detroit safety, injuring himself, going for the tackle on Falcons running back Nathan Carter. They ended up, both teams agreed to just run out the last 14 minutes of the game after he was carted off the field. Scary scenes. And it's just like watching the replay, it happened so fast, but again, his head was down and it's just unlucky, really is what it was.
It was. And you worried about paralysis and everything else. And all reports are that he's in stable condition, regained feeling and movement in all of his extremities. So that points to a full recovery, but it's always scary in a contact sport when it comes to your spine and neck and everything else. It's like, ooh, just, you hate it.
No, you hate to see it. But yeah, I guess he posted yesterday on social media that he's okay and in stable condition. So good news for our NFC brethren over there in Detroit.
Yeah, no doubt. It's scary, especially in preseason when you're like, this shit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like your number one goal is to get out of it healthy. Like have no one get hurt.
Yeah. And aside from that, there weren't too many injuries this week. Anthony Richardson, I guess, avoided a major injury. I mean, he got absolutely destroyed on Thursday night. Ended up with just a dislocated pinky, but he was back at practice on Saturday following that injury. He just was just 2 for 3 passing for 21 yards before the injury, but no other quarterback for Indianapolis really did anything to kind of win that job. No. Daniel Jones was underwhelming. He went 10 for 21 for 144 yards. Riley Leonard had the most completions and attempts out of the 3. He was 12 for 24 for 92 yards and an interception, and rushed for 34 yards, leading those 3 guys. Riley Leonard has no shot to win this job, right?
No, God, no. He had, so 12 rookie quarterbacks played preseason football this weekend, and he was second to last in overall passing grade.
There we go.
Second to only Graham Mertz, who threw 3 picks.
3 picks.
Just a brutal game for Graham. Those are 2 quarterbacks that don't belong in the NFL. I mean, moral of the story. Third worst quarterback grade was Jalen Milroe, another guy who we'd never thought was going to be an NFL quarterback. And Jackson Dart had the best I guess the second best rookie grade behind whoever the fuck Seth Hennigan is in Jacksonville.
That's the he was the quarterback at Memphis.
Never heard of him.
Didn't even know he was drafted. He must have been undrafted.
I've never heard of him. But I mean, I think the winners at quarterback were definitely Jackson Dart, Cam Ward, and Shedeur Sanders. I thought Cam Ward looked decent. Only threw 8 passes, completing 5 for 67 yards. I thought those 3 looked decent, and Tyler Shuck looked okay yesterday for the Saints.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump ahead a little bit in the show notes here because I did want to talk about, both those rookies, specifically Tyler Shuck and Jackson Dart. I feel like those are the 2 guys that, aside from Shedeur Sanders, most of the eyes are on in terms of when they'll see the field. Obviously, we know Cam Ward's going to start week 1 for Tennessee. That I wasn't really paying too much attention to how he did in preseason. But Jackson Dart looked really good for the Giants. I mean, came out 12 of 19, 154 yards and a touchdown, added 24 yards on the ground. All of the Giants QBs did well. Russ started the game, went 6 for 7 for 28 yards. Yeah. And then Jameis and DeVito came in the second half and each threw a touchdown pass. Did Dart do enough to kind of maybe close the gap between him and Russ to be that quarterback 1? I think
this is going to be a situation where Russ is definitely going to start, and then something's going to have to happen. Either Russell Wilson starts to, his play becomes detrimental to the team's success, or they lose a bunch of games and they're out of the playoff picture. And it's like, all right, let's go with the rookie and see what he does. Feels like Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix Jr. Like, give us a reason to switch to Jackson Dart, whether it's out of playoff contention, Russell's not that good, or Jackson's just killing it, and we got to see what the future looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk Cousins was never playing bad in Atlanta. He just, he played underwhelming, below average, but it wasn't terrible. But they got towards the end of the year, and they're like, all right, it's time to switch to the rookie. Like, this season's already in the tank. It's already done. We have this rookie quarterback we drafted in the first round. Let's put him out there and see what he does. I think the Giants will get there one way or another.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. It's hard to kind of evaluate this Giants team as an outsider looking in. Obviously, they had just 3 wins last year, one of the worst records in the league, tied for the worst, I guess, with the Titans and the Browns. And so it's easy to look at them this year and say, oh, well, they, will still be a bottom tier team. However, I really like what their defense, or how they've built their defense in the last few years, that I think that could help them win some games. And I wonder if they, win a couple early on with Russ. I think that might not be good for them long-term this season, because I do think Jackson Dart's probably the better option. I think Russ is kind of washed at this point. I think almost the better thing for them is to lose a couple games early on and have the New York media start to get loud and call for Jackson Dart. But he looked good. I'm excited to see what he does. And I think naturally him and Shedeur Sanders are going to be compared, right?
Yeah.
Throughout their entire NFL careers. But both exceeded expectations in week 1 of the preseason for sure.
Yeah, I thought they played really well. And amongst quarterbacks that didn't play well, Kyle McCord got some snaps. 5 passes, 1 completion for 8 yards and an interception. I wonder what Daddy's saying.
Classic McCord fashion. And that was with, an Eagles team that balled out. Tanner McKee randomly just popping off for 20 for 25, 2 touchdowns. Like, he looked the part. Tyler Shuck, I didn't watch that game as closely yesterday, but it bounced back through an interception early, then followed it up with a 54-yard touchdown pass. But he looked pretty good for the most part, 15 of 22 passing, 165 yards and a touchdown. I'll be shocked if he doesn't win that quarterback battle.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler sucks. I think he's going to, and I think if you go back, he was my second favorite quarterback in this draft. And don't get me wrong, I never said I would draft him to be a franchise because he's an older quarterback. I don't know if he's an actual franchise quarterback. I really only had Cam Ward as the one that I said he's definitely a franchise quarterback. Everyone else, Shedeur Sanders, has the ceiling to be a franchise quarterback. I don't know if he'll get there. Right. Every other quarterback had a reason why not. Tyler Shuck had the second most consistent film on college film when I broke him down. So I think he's got to win the job in New Orleans, and not even because he's a great player or going to be a great player. It's just their quarterback room is god awful. Terrible.
Rattler didn't do much. He was the Saints' leading rusher for what it's worth. So aside from that,
right.
But no, I think Shuck's probably the favorite to win that job. And again, it's like, you might as well see what you have, because I think the Saints are going to be so bad again this year. The right thing to do is see what you have in Tyler Shuck, because you're going to end up with a top 3 pick, I'd imagine, next year. So if Shuck seems to be the answer, then you don't have to worry about quarterback next year.
Absolutely.
But it sounds like they're going to need a quarterback, and they're probably going to go with one because of, Arch Manning's probably staying 2 years. But it sounds like they're high on Garrett Nussmeier too, the Louisiana kid, whose dad is the OC for New Orleans. Fun fact.
Yeah.
But Zach, let's get a commercial break here and continue with some preseason chatter.
A lot going on. We had preseason football.
Mm-hmm.
My question of the day for all 385 of you in here: What do you give Shedeur Sanders? What letter grade? And like the video while you're here. Let's get these numbers up. A minus, B plus. What grade are you giving Shedeur on his first preseason start? We'll be right back after this. Menace Army, I have the perfect solution to cut back on drinking and enhance how you feel, your life. And that is our partners and our sponsor, Cornbread Hemp. They have any option you could ever want. They have CBD gummies, which work with your body to improve some of those aches and discomforts and calm you down, relax you. They have the THC CBD gummy mixes. And then what I just had delivered on Friday that Justine and I enjoyed this weekend, they have CBD drinks, I guess you call them, seltzers, CBD seltzers, 5 milligrams per seltzer. They They have blueberry breeze, peach iced tea, raspberry limeade, and salted watermelon were the 4 that we got. And they're incredible. It's like drinking a seltzer, but with CBD instead of alcohol, better for you. And man, I sleep like a baby. And right now, Menace of Sports podcast listeners can save 30% on your first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/menace and use code menace at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/menace and use code menace for 30% off your first order. There you have it. It's THC too, not CBD. It's THC. It's the good stuff.
It's the good stuff. Zach, you're going to get a bunch of guys that are going to overdraft a kicker early in fantasy this year because of what happened this week. Cam Little is going to be the first kicker taken off the board in a bunch of fantasy leagues. He drilled a 70-yarder to end the first half on Saturday.
Absolutely wild. And I think it's bullshit that doesn't count. It doesn't count as the record. Like, why?
Because it didn't. Because it was preseason. Like,
but it's still a game where they're trying to block it. Like, it seems like it should count. I guess the only reason why I could see why it wouldn't count is because would they attempt a 70-yarder in an actual game? Right? You have far more liberation to try a 70-yarder in a preseason game.
Yeah.
So that's where a guy like Justin Tucker or someone could be like, well, we would never try it, or I could make it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see if they or anyone tries a 70-yarder. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. I feel like because he's hit it now, you have to figure that, Jacksonville's going to, they're going to be terrible again this year, most likely. That they might find themselves in a position where, like, hey, fuck it, run them out there.
Pat, he kicked the ball from their own 40.
Insane.
Like, their own 40-yard line. And what?
Have you ever seen, because I know, kickers, when they're warming up in practice, can hit from crazy deep. Have you ever seen anything close to 70 in your time as a coach?
No. I mean, not that I didn't pay attention to the kickers a whole lot.
Yeah.
Certainly never in like a competitive situation, either in practice or scrimmages or games, like never. But 70 yards is like, the next time you go to a football field, stand on the 40, the opposite 40, and look how far away that field goal is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane.
Insane. So shout out Cam Little, but he was a rookie last year, and he I feel like has become, maybe he's the next Justin Tucker, because last year, he was 27 for 29 in field goals, perfect 27 for 27 in extra points. He was 5 of 6 from 50 plus, 9 of 8 from 40 to 49, and his longest was a 59 yarder last year. So, hey, I was low-key joking, but he might be the kicker one of this fantasy season. He could win you some leagues, man.
In a world where you don't really pay attention to kickers, that just amped up his stock, right?
He's got to be the number one kicker off the board, I'd imagine.
How many points does a 70-yarder get you?
Fuck, it should be like 30.
Literally, like, do they have a category for that? 70 plus?
Yeah. They're going to have to introduce one this year. I'd imagine that the fantasy apps are probably on that, because people are going to be complaining if he gets 70 and they don't get extra points for that.
No doubt.
I guess staying in Jacksonville, Travis Hunter played both sides of the ball this weekend. Which
I was surprised. First game out the gate.
Yeah.
He played both sides of the ball, looked good missed a tackle on defense, had 2 catches, but like look decent.
Yeah.
Look good, look the part.
Yeah. They're easing him into it for sure. He played 10 snaps of the 11 on Jacksonville's first offensive drive with those 2 catches. And then on Jacksonville's second defensive drive came out, played 5 snaps, didn't record any stats, and then returned for a handful of plays after that drive. But yeah, so I guess shocked by that decision to play him both sides, or you think they're fully, I guess, embracing the fact that he's going to be a two-way player and that's what he wants.
No, I think they're doing it. They're going to go the Colorado route. I don't think he'll play as many snaps as he played in college. I think he'll be a somewhat rotational player. Like, they'll give him breaks, let him keep his legs. But I'm interested to watch it, how they're going to do it. I think it's going to be insane if he is actually a two-way player all year. I never thought it was possible. I really didn't. I didn't think it was possible in college. He proved me wrong, and that's all I said in the draft. So I don't know that it's possible in the NFL, but if it is, this kid will do it. Like, the kid is phenomenal.
Yeah. I guess if you're the Jacksonville coaching staff, How would you be planning to like break down what % of snaps he sees on offense and defense? Are you kind of looking at like, all right, if he could play 50% on both sides of the ball, is that a win? Do you want him to play more than that on one side or the other?
I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I think, yeah, that's a good starting point is you go 50% of offensive snaps, 50% of defensive snaps. Now he put a full game's worth of snaps. And then I think they'll probably lean offense if there's going to be an uneven ratio. I think he'll play a little bit more on offense because you could take plays off on offense, right? Like a runaway, he can kind of just like jog off.
Yeah.
Like they don't block very well in the NFL. They don't ask them to block. So I think offense is easier to play more snaps than defense, where any play they could be taking a shot at you, right? Yeah. You got to be on your game every single play because you don't know what's happening.
Oh, that's true. I mean, him on defense is going to be a lot more valuable, I think. But like you said, I guess, it's easier to get him in on offense and mask him for a couple plays before he, I guess, gets a touch and then can utilize his full energy. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they utilize him the next 2 preseason games. I guess that's probably one of the biggest stories outside of him. I guess the rookies that, kind of perform. Obviously, Travion Henderson, I feel like stole the show for the most part out of the rookie class. That 100-yard, return was electric.
Yeah. And I mean, it's preseason football. I mean, you'll never see a lane like that open up in an actual NFL game, but it was great to see. I mean, he ran away from everybody. He looked dynamic, and it not pains you, but it pisses you off a little bit as a Buckeye fan. Like, why couldn't we see that in college?
It also pisses me off as a Browns fan because I'm sitting here. We still haven't seen Quinshawn practice.
No.
Or sorry, I guess we didn't know OTAs and minicamp, but we haven't seen him in training camp at all.
No.
And now we get footage of Travion Henderson housing a 100-yard return right off the rip in preseason. I hope this Quinshawn situation, figures itself out in due time, because like that's going to look, we could look back on this a year from now and say, damn, could you imagine if we had just taken Trey instead of Q? Especially if Trey balls out the way a lot of people are projecting. Everyone's kind of, very high on him out of New England, of him as a pass catcher out of the backfield. It looks like he's going to be like the focal point of that offense for Drake May and them.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think I was high on both Quinshawn and Trey. I like Trey a little bit better because of what we watched, right? Because just his dynamic ability in space, whether that's out of the backfield in the return game. Like, I just think he's a little bit more dynamic than Quinshawn. And so that's why I had him ranked higher on my running back board when pre-draft.
Yeah.
He's definitely better than Q if Q's not playing. Like, that's the caveat here. That obviously Cleveland had no idea that would happen. And it's unfortunate. Hopefully that gets resolved and he gets back on the field. But yeah, I'm hoping Trey is a monster, and it will be a little bit of salt in the wound if he is, and we don't get production out of Quinshawn.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Trey, he's known for those big plays, man. I saw his first touchdown as a Buckeye was an 80-yarder against Minnesota. His last touchdown as a Buckeye was the 75-yarder against Texas, and that was first NFL touchdown as a 100-yarder. Just a man for the big,
big play machine.
Big play machine. So shout out Travion. I guess elsewhere across the league. Oh, I want to talk Cincinnati with you because they started, they're starting offense and defense on Thursday against Philly, and this was kind of brought to our attention because of the slow starts that they've had the past few years. And I guess this is their way to combat it, right? They want to get their starters up to speed a little quicker than usual. So they had Burrow and company play just the first few drives on Thursday night, but they looked the part. Burrow and Chase connected for a touchdown. However, the defensive side of things didn't go so good against Philly's backups.
When Tanner McKee's throwing for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, 20 of 25, 80% completion percentage, especially like knowing what we know that Cincinnati's defense has been ass, and that's been their problem. It's like, okay, we got no solution here. Got it. This is what it's going to be.
I mean, it was definitely eye-opening. And again, everyone on social media that I saw that are Bengals fans were like, if only there was a certain defensive end that maybe we could pay to impact this defensive side of the ball.
There's no doubt. I mean, it's like the contract holdouts, the guys that are holding out Trey Hendrickson, Terry McLaurin. Like they had to be watching week one. Like, yeah, told you, you need me.
Yeah.
You better circle back because you need me.
I mean, Trey Hendrickson's stock just, went through the roof after seeing, the Bengals defense look like shit for most of the night on Thursday. Odds are that a deal gets done in the coming weeks now. If you're Cincinnati, was that eye-opening enough for you to, I guess, swallow your pride and give him what he's demanding?
I mean, I don't understand how they don't. I don't understand how either situation doesn't get resolved. I mean, the Bengals go out and just get annihilated on defense, just speaking to how badly they need to make sure they have their key pieces in place, and Trey Hendrickson being one of the most key pieces. I don't know how they don't pay him because they need him, and they're in their Super Bowl window. Like Joe Burrow, like the offense looked outstanding for those 2 drives. Joe Burrow, 90% completion percentage. Jamar Chase, over 100 yards receiving on 2 drives. Yeah. Like, you've got Super Bowl potential here. How do you not lock in your stud defensive end? I don't know. And then the Commanders getting destroyed 48-18 by the Patriots, and the offense looking anemic. I know Jaden Daniels didn't play, but you have to watch that saying, damn, we need to re-sign Terry.
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't.
Yeah, I think the level of, I guess, concern isn't as high for Washington based on that game. I think it'll be more eye-opening, if Jaden Daniels plays this upcoming week, and then specifically week 3 of the preseason will be our first test to see if there hasn't been a solution yet to see what this Commanders offense is going to look like without Terry.
Honestly.
But it's not like, I mean, again, I guess the one thing you were kind of looking at is, all right, well, who's going to step up for Washington if, they're without Terry McLaurin, if they do end up trading him? Ja'Cory Brooks was their leading receiver, 5 catches for 59 yards. Other than that, no one really showed out. I mean, Michael Gallup's been around the league a while now, 2 catches for 27 yards. KJ Osborne, another veteran, 2 catches, 14 yards.
Oh, my dude Lawrence Cager was out there. I didn't realize he was still floating around NFL rosters.
Okay, yeah, 2 catches, 35 for him.
That was my dude in recruiting.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Where did he play college ball?
I want to say he transferred to Miami. I can't remember where he went out of high school. It might have been Maryland.
Okay. Let's see here. Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Yes.
Oh, I do. Yeah. So he was a Maryland kid in high school.
Yeah. He's from Maryland for sure. Yeah. Miami. He was at Miami out of high school. He went to Miami. Then he transferred to Georgia for his final year.
Gotcha.
I mean, never really. He had 1,100 yards in 4 years. Like, had 476 at Georgia, 374 at Miami.
Yeah,
his junior year. But I liked him.
He was on the Browns practice squad in 2021.
Yeah,
he was on the active roster for a little bit that year. But yeah, he's bounced around the league a bunch actually. Jets, Browns, Giants, and now Commanders. Hey, shout out your boy Cager.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I think going back to Washington, I think we'll see the impact that not having Terry is going to have on them. More so in weeks 2 and 3 of the preseason.
Yeah, specifically week 3. I mean, week 3 is kind of that final brush up before the season starts, and you usually see starters for at least a quarter, or you see everybody just kind of get back in game mode.
Yeah, absolutely. But for Cincy, I mean, it was pretty clear that, all right, if our defense can't even hold down Philly's second string offense, then we're going to be in trouble. And again, I just laugh because I'm looking at, like, you look at NFL betting odds, and here we go. Bengals, second best team to win the division behind the Ravens. I think that's even outlandish. You look at the Super Bowl odds. The Bengals have, I think it's the 5th best odds in the AFC to win the Super Bowl. And it's like, 4th best odds in the AFC to win the Super Bowl.
I just don't see it unless if they re-sign Trey Hendrickson. I still don't see it. I still don't think they made the right moves to level that defense up. I mean, but do you have a better shot with the NFL sack leader? It just blows my mind they haven't gotten this done yet.
We'll see. I mean, time's running out. Over there in Cincinnati. I do want to get another commercial break, Zach, and keep this thing rolling. Remember to like the video. We got 583 people in here.
583 in here. Answer my question. What letter grade you giving Shedeur Sanders in his first NFL game? What's his grade card look like? A-, B-? What do you got? Let us know in the comments down below. We'll be right back after this. They're back. The best sports book on the market, MyBookie. back advertising with us at Menace to Sports. I got to tell you, if you need a place to bet, it's the best online sports book out there, available in all 50 states. Anything you want to bet. You want to bet some preseason props. Heck, just ride with my preseason bets. I'm 1 for 1 so far. The over on the Thursday night game. It's here. Football season's here, and our partner, MyBookie, is the best place to lock in all your parlays, all your props, your over-unders, you name it. It's the best sports book out there. And with promo code Menace, they give you free money. So go over to mybookie.com right now. Lock in that free money, deposit a little money, use our promo code, and get some free money. And start building your bankroll for what's going to be a successful 2025 football season when it comes to your bank account. Go lock it in with MyBookie right now and get in the game. Get in the game.
Zach
Get it
Smith,
done.
3-0.
I mean, only 3-0. If you go to MyBookie and you follow our betting advice right now, you'd be up big.
Hell yeah. I cashed out on that Cleveland, the all Cleveland parlay Friday, and then I sprinkled on a couple of those Shedeur props. I had him 2+ passing touchdowns, which hit. I had him 200+ passing yards, which didn't hit. So I ended up going 1-1 on Shedeur props. But yeah, it was get over to MyBookie, get some cash. Promo code Menace. One more note, around the league before we dive into the Browns and kind of recapping their preseason was the Jets and Justin Fields. Was really impressed with how he looked. Only had the opening drive, but after all the reports from last week about how atrocious he was in practice, it was 3 straight days where I think his completion percentage was like 25% on throws in practice. But he comes out, opening drive for the Jets, 10 plays, 79 yards, touchdown drive. He went 3 for 4 passing for 42 yards and added in a rushing touchdown. He looked good. And Aaron Glenn had some nice things to say about him after the game, saying that all the, they've done a good job quieting all the negative noise about practice from out of the locker room, and Justin Fields, their guy.
I think he did what you would want him to do. I mean, nothing spectacular. Like you said, only 3 completions, only played that, only threw 4 passes, but he didn't look bad. And that's all you're looking for, because he's going to get more and more reps as the preseason marches on. You just want him to look the part, because we saw what he looked like in Pittsburgh as a starter last year, and we saw him have success, and you're hoping that can be replicated and just spread out over a 17-game season.
Yeah. I agree. It was promising to see him use his legs. He looked elusive out there. And then, the throws were a lot of checkdowns for the most part. But again, 3 for 4. You're not going to argue with 75% completion percentage after he'd been so horrendous completing the ball in practice. So shout out Justin Fields. Vibes are up in New York, and vibes are up in Cleveland, Zach. I'm ready to break it down.
Oh, boy. I
mean, it's here. Shedeur Sanders era is here.
I mean, listen, he looked the part, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I did this with DTR in his rookie year in the preseason. Like, it is preseason football, a bunch of dudes that aren't playing NFL football, but in a world where you could look like Kyle McCord, Shedeur looked like a dude. And so you can't say it doesn't matter at all. It was a test. Might have been an easy test, but he passed the test. In a weekend where some guys didn't pass the test, Shedeur passed the test. I mean, he was outstanding against blitz. He was 6 for 7 when the Panthers brought a blitz. 86% completion percentage, 8.9 yards per attempt. Both of his touchdowns were against blitz coverage. I thought he did what you wanted to see him do. I mean, he had great stats. He threw the ball over 10 yards. Over 10 yards 7 times, completed 5 of 7 over 10 yards, 1 for 2 on deep balls, an 80% completion percentage on throws from 10 to 20 yards. Like, he made the throws. Yeah. And he was efficient. He didn't turn the ball over. Like, Shedeur, he passed the test. And it just brings up the next step on this journey, the Shedeur Sanders path to being the Browns' full-time quarterback. He's passed enough tests now. It's time to let him start to get some reps with the ones. Like, at some point, you have to see what he does with Jerry Jeudy, not fucking Steve Robertson.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what he does with the guys that are actually going to play on Sundays in the regular season. It's long overdue, and I think it has to happen. It has to happen today. Like, right now, go. Yeah. Let him go try.
I mean, absolutely. He's earned it, right? He looked the part on Friday night. I mean, I'm watching a Browns game for the first time, and I'm actually like genuinely excited about what the future could be. And I know maybe it's an overreaction, but I've been on this hype train for a while now, and it was nice to see him, actually ball out when given the chance, just because he hasn't been given any chances so far.
No.
In OTAs, mini camps, training camp. So seeing him, take the opportunity and run with it was great. And honestly, I felt like his composure in the pocket was so good. I thought he did a great job of knowing when to stand in and deliver a strike. I thought he did a great job of knowing when to escape and try to, and honestly, he made plays happen with his legs.
He did.
Now, again, this is against Carolina's, second string defense and stuff. So I don't know how much of that he'll be able to replicate against the starting NFL defense, but I was really impressed with how he looked, kind of scrambling around and using his legs to extend plays, to scramble for some yardage. He had the nice rushing first down in the first quarter that led to the touchdown drive. So it was fun to watch him utilize his mobility, and he looked a little quicker. I feel like people were kind of knocking him on his quickness, but I thought he looked quick enough on Friday.
Yeah, that was my biggest knock on his college film was this is Deion Sanders' kid. Why does he look so unathletic?
Yeah.
No, I thought he did a good job. I thought he looked mobile enough. I mean, he's not going to be Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts, but he looked mobile enough and looked athletic, avoided some sacks, extended some plays, made some really big-time throws. I think he checked every box, albeit it's preseason and it's week 1 of preseason where you're literally seeing no starters basically. But in a world where he could have played like some of these other rookies that looked like shit, he looked good.
Yeah.
And
absolutely looked good.
As a 5th rounder, that's a huge win.
And I do think, I guess, all right, so if we're going to sit here and grade his performance, I think I agree with most of the chat. The chat is pretty set on that B to B plus range for his grade. And I think I'm going to agree with that. I would put him at between a B and a B plus. I think there were some throws that he missed that were very makeable throws. Yeah. I think that he can do a better job of those touch plays. I mean, he got bailed out. The one kind of lob throw to Floria, the Kent State kid who made a phenomenal one-handed grab. I thought that wasn't his best ball. But even Shedeur admitted, I mean, all of his post-game interviews, he was basically, it sounded like he was almost a little too harsh on himself, but saying that he didn't think he did enough with his opportunity. He thinks he left a lot out there, which just means that, shit, I mean, if he believes that, I believe it. So, like, if he's got more in the tank, then I'm excited to see what an even more polished version of him looks like. And I'm excited for week 2 of preseason because that'll be his next opportunity to really shine.
Yeah, it will. I mean, you love where he's at mentally. I think we really like where he's at performance-wise for a 5th-round quarterback in his rookie year. I mean, if you keep that perspective, I don't know how we give him a B or B plus. Like, he was a 5th rounder.
Yeah.
I thought he played exceptional for a 5th rounder. Now, if we want to hold him to some standard that he should have been a 1st rounder, then I agree. B. Absolutely. Cam Ward plays like that. It's a B. But he was a 5th rounder. Like, I think he outperformed his draft slot in week 1, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, in a world where Andy Dalton comes in, has been an NFL quarterback forever and was 1 for 5, I think, over 10 yards. Like, our rookie 5th rounder was balling.
Oh, absolutely. And it looked like it was fun to see. And they were interviewing Flacco on the sidelines, but it looks like Flacco really was the one who enjoyed his success. Because I saw a bunch of memes after the fact, like Flacco realizing he's going to get, a year's worth of pay and only have to play 6 games watching Shedeur ball out. But funny enough, there's the one screenshot that went viral of Flacco smiling on the sideline, and you got Deshaun Watson and Dillon Gabriel both looking pissed off after Shedeur's latest touchdown. Now comes the tough part, right? And there's going to need to be a move that's going to be made. You can't run with these 5 quarterbacks. I forgot that Tyler Huntley's there and actually he played. What if you're Andrew Berry right now, Zach? What is your plan in terms of how to address this packed quarterback room and how to navigate the depth chart and who to cut, who to trade, who to float out there? I guess.
Well, I think Kenny Pickett's the one I want to see go.
Okay.
Like, we've seen him for two teams. He's on his third team since being a first-round draft pick. He's never been a guy. He wasn't a guy in Pittsburgh. He wasn't a guy in Philly. I know they had Jalen Hurts, but still, like, they were far too happy to deal him.
Yeah.
I think Kenny Pickett's the one that I'm pretty solid and have decent conviction that he's not a franchise quarterback. And I didn't think he was coming out of Pitt. I just have never seen it with Kenny Pickett, and he's only proved me right so far. So, like, Dillon Gabriel, I don't believe he could be a franchise quarterback, but I certainly don't know that, right? I'm fairly convicted that I know Kenny Pickett is not a franchise quarterback. And we know why Joe Flacco's there. Tyler Huntley's going to be gone. He was just brought in because of health to give, we need another quarterback that can go in games. So Shedeur didn't have to play the whole game.
Yeah.
So I think Tyler Huntley will get cut, when everyone's healthy, maybe the end of training camp. I think Kenny Pickett's the one that has to go because I don't see any reason to keep him unless he's out there balling, which he's not. He's played decent. I don't know the reason to keep Kenny Pickett. We know that he's not a franchise quarterback with almost 100% conviction.
Yeah, I think it's easy to fall in love with the idea of him being, the retread, following the likes of the Bakers and the Darnolds, but it's just not there. I don't know. I've seen enough as well where I feel like Baker had his moments, right? Where he would make a throw and you're like, oh shit. Like
all the way back to college film
Yeah.
to Baker's start in Cleveland, his first 2 years, he was really good. Like at least you saw flashes. When was Kenny Pickett ever flashed? He did a fake slide and everyone jerked off to him.
Yeah. I mean,
and he had Jordan Addison for 1 year who won the Blitnikoff. And it was just like, throw it up to Jordan deep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never saw an NFL quarterback out of Kenny Pickett. Baker, I thought Baker was a franchise quarterback for sure. And he looked like it early on in Cleveland.
Shit, he looks like it now in Tampa too.
He definitely looks like it now.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, before those retreads had great years, you saw it. Now, he lacked consistency. He kind of fell off in Cleveland, and I think they really did a shitty job with him. But you saw it. The potential's there. I've never seen the potential with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I agree. I hope that he's the one that, gets axed first, whether it's by getting cut or via trade, whatever. I think he's naturally the first guy that's going to go. Apparently, I saw rumors over the weekend that teams have at least checked in on the availability of Dillon Gabriel, and the Browns seem hesitant to listen to too many offers. I get it. He's a rookie, so you do want to see what you have there, but fuck, I've seen enough in practice clips of his shit getting batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, no doubt. But then at what point, I mean, do you really get value out of that? Like what can you trade Dillon Gabriel for? He was a 3rd round pick.
Exactly.
You're not getting better than a 3rd round pick. And I highly doubt you get a 3rd round pick. So don't you ride it out for at least a year to see what you have? I mean, you drafted him. You liked him.
Yeah.
I think it was idiotic, but at least give him a year to prove you right and prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Because if they trade him now, oh my God, Andrew Berry should get fired immediately.
Unless Shedeur is a dude, then it's like, all right, at least you can kind of live with it. Or no, you
could live with it, but you're also like, damn, we could have had a starter. We could have drafted a starter in the 3rd round, and we drafted a bust quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, that's an Andrew Berry F. Taking Shedeur in the 5th round, I don't even give him credit for that. The fact that Shedeur was available in the 5th round, it was almost idiotic not to take him. Like, I think a monkey would have taken him.
And I mean, shit, given and again, not really 100% on Andrew Berry, but the fact that Quinshon still hasn't played. So, like, if you would trade Dillon Gabriel, that you're now talking about not even week 1 of their rookie years, you could be without a 2nd and 3rd round pick from this past year's draft, which is kind of wild to think about.
Kind of wild. And I don't hold the Quinshon situation against Andrew Berry because all accounts were that's a great kid.
Yeah.
Obviously got in a fucked up situation. Might have done some really bad shit. I don't know. I don't wear a white wig and I don't judge until I find out facts and see what the actual investigators tell us.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I don't put that on Andrew Berry. I don't think anyone could have seen that coming. And I think I loved the draft pick when he did it.
Yeah. That's fair. I do want to hit one more commercial break, and then Kevin Stefanski actually just spoke with the media, so I want to break down some of his quotes after their week 1 preseason dub.
I love it. Get your super chats in. And our question of the day: what are you giving Shedeur Sanders? Letter grade. Give him a grade card. Game week 1. We might not see him after these 3 games until hopefully like week 9 of the season. But what are you grading Shedeur in his first performance? I'm giving him an A-, considering he's a 5th round draft pick. Now, if you just want to eliminate any draft slotting and what their performance should be, I think a B is accurate.
Yeah.
For a rookie, in general, a rookie quarterback. But what letter grade are you giving Shedeur Sanders for his performance against the Panthers? Drop it in the comments and smash that like button for us. We'll be right back after this. Losing weight is not rocket science. It's actually not that difficult. It takes a little discipline. And I'm going to tell you what helped me lose 35 pounds in 6 weeks. Awaken180weightloss.com. It's very simple. They deliver 4 out of your 5 meals a day. They give you a clear plan. You have your own private coach that you talk to, check in with once a week. They send you a scale. And when you step on that scale, all that data goes to your coach. It's not just a weight loss plan. It's not just the meals. It is education and accountability. Your coach holds you accountable, checks in, sees what's working, what's not working, pivot, adjust, figure it out with the goal in mind and achieving real results. I lost 35 pounds in 6 weeks. Switched to maintenance. I still check in with my coach, Jenna, once a month. I weigh on a scale. She checks in to see, am I putting weight on? Do we need to adjust maintenance? What's working? What's not? It's a game changer. No shots, no quick fixes. It's education and accountability. And it's worth every penny. Head over to awaken180weightloss.com right now and sign up for a consultation. They'll run you through their entire program, how it works, the whole plan. And I promise you're going to sign up because it's proven that people that sign up for Awaken 180 lose on average 5 pounds a week. When you're 2 pounds in and already 10, when you're 2 weeks in and already 10 pounds down, you'll know the sky's the limit and you're soaring. You're flying. Head over to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. It's not easy. It's not a quick fix. It's education and accountability and discipline. And once you get there, I can see my abs. I have a 6-pack at 41 right now because of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Go check it out. Go sign up for a consultation. You got nothing to lose. Consultation will give you the education, show you the program, and you can decide if you want to take control of your life. Head over to that website right now and sign up for that consultation. Go get it. Energy level through the roof. I'm telling you, it's a life changer.
Absolutely. Shout out Cammy Justice for posting some quick notes from Stefanski before practice today. Stefanski said that Dillon Gabriel will return to 11-on-11 work today, but Kenny Pickett is still not ready for full team. Sounds like we might not see Pickett then in week 2 of preseason unless he can get up to speed by the end of the week. But
again, I don't want to see Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
I don't care. I would love for them to deal him right now. Like, I think Kenny Pickett is robbing the quarterback room of reps. I don't think Kenny Pickett has the potential to be a franchise quarterback. And every rep you spend on Kenny Pickett, I feel like is a wasted investment. I think all those reps need to go to Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel. You drafted him in the 3rd round. You really liked him. Yeah. The reps have to go to them. And if Dillon Gabriel's back healthy, running with the team, running, back available for all things, I think Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur need to split the 1 reps and get Joe Flacco some too, because he's likely your day 1 starter, probably your day 1 starter. But I think you go on Monday, Joe Flacco and Dillon Gabriel take the 1s reps. On Tuesday, Joe Flacco and Shedeur take the 1s reps. I think you got to go back and forth and get Kenny Pickett the fuck out of my news feed. Get him off my timeline. I think you're wasting money. You're wasting really not. It's not money. It's precious reps that are more valuable than money. You're wasting reps on a guy that I don't think has any chance to be a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasting opportunity really is what it comes down to.
Yeah, because what do you do? Is Kenny Pickett ever going to be a franchise quarterback that takes you to the playoffs and potentially a Super Bowl? Hell no. So is he give you a better chance to win games this fall? Maybe. I mean, that's the ceiling to me. Kenny Pickett's ceiling is he might be better than Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel right now.
And my whole thought process when they even made this trade was that, all right, Kenny Pickett is kind of like the stopgap quarterback, right? We're going to draft someone, or we ended up drafting 2 guys, but whatever. We're going to draft someone in the spring, and Kenny Pickett will kind of act as the mentor, so to speak, the veteran in the room, start us some games. If we win, great. If we lose, all right, at a certain point, we'll ditch him and go to the young guy. And then for them to sign Flacco, it was like, well, what the fuck is he doing here? Get him the fuck out. I'd rather just let Flacco go do that because he's even better than what Pickett is.
And I just think that every rep poured into Kenny Pickett goes against what you want to happen in any way, shape, or form. The only way it's worth it is if he is a franchise quarterback. Because if you're telling me, Pat, which I can believe this, Kenny Pickett right now gives the Browns a better chance to win than Shedeur or Dillon Gabriel. I can believe that. Why are you trying to win though? Unless you have your franchise quarterback and you're going to give him the reps. Like Kenny Pickett, all he does is take reps from a potential franchise quarterback or fuck around and win a game or two. You don't want to win because now you get a worse draft pick. Like Kenny Pickett is the worst scenario for Browns fans, in my opinion, that could come out of this thing. Joe Flacco starts, I'm good. Veteran, like let the young guys develop. Shedeur starts, I'm great. Investment in the future, potential franchise. Dillon Gabriel starts, great. He was your 3rd round pick. You must really like him. Maybe he's the franchise. Kenny Pickett starts, I got nothing. I'm not excited about anything.
You're going sideways, not forward or backward.
Yeah,
you're just fucking going sideways at that point.
We either want to go forwards with success on the field or forward with draft capital next year. We don't want to go sideways and win 4 or 5 games or 6 games, and all of a sudden you have the 7th pick when you could have the 2nd pick. Like Kenny Pickett's the worst scenario that could play out for me.
Now, do we think the Browns will just cut him if need be, or do you think they're looking for a trade partner to get something in return because they traded for him? I don't know if that.
I think like anything else, do they need the roster spot, and what can they get out of it? Yeah. Like I don't know who's trading for Kenny Pickett. I would never, unless it's like a 7th rounder.
Which even still, I would take that just to get him out of here. Stefanski also said he's not ready to announce if Shedeur Sanders will start again against the Eagles in week 2 of preseason. He did say, however, he will get plenty of reps. It's just a matter of when. Do you think that there's a chance Shedeur starts week 2 preseason game, or do you think he'll go with Gabriel because Gabriel's been ahead of Shedeur throughout training?
Yeah, I think not only because Shedeur started the first game, it feels natural to then rotate and let Dillon Gabriel start the 2nd game. And Dillon Gabriel was ahead of Shedeur before he got hurt. So it just makes logical sense to me to start Gabriel, bring Shedeur off the bench, and Tyler Huntley doesn't need any reps. You're going to cut him anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, I'd rather see Flacco get a rep in there. But I think if Dillon Gabriel struggles this week in practice, then maybe I could see a world where Shedeur starts. But again, either way, it's going to come down to he's got to perform well again in week 2. I think practice is important, but it's going to come down to gameplay, I think, for him in terms to really make, strides in this depth chart. If he balls out against the Eagles, man, back-to-back good outings is exactly what he needs to kind of gain momentum in that quarterback battle.
He does, and he needs reps with the ones this week. Mm-hmm. Like he's earned it at this. He's over-earned it. Like he has earned it beyond any shadow of a doubt. He has to get reps with the ones. That's why Kenny Pickett is the one. I don't want anyone to be injured, but I'm glad he's still injured because every rep he takes is a wasted investment for us.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll have more to unpack tomorrow once practice is concluded today. But Zach, I do want to get some super chats here before we finish it up. Our guy Ben, thanks for the 2. I've seen enough Pats to the Super Bowl.
Mike Vrabel, quick turnaround in year 1.
Yeah, man. Hey, shout out Travion, man. He's going to be fun to watch. I'm drafting him in fantasy. I think he's going to be a beast.
So do I.
Coach Zach, thanks for the 2. Least shocking thing of the weekend, #Titans suck.
Yep, they do. Yeah. That's a fact. Not much more you can say about it.
Yeah, you just got to hope Cam Ward develops a little bit. I mean, you're not going to win this year, but you just want to see strides with him. That's the biggest thing. Our guy Lawrence, thanks for the 10. I'll give 12 a C- because that's what he says. As a supporter of 12, I just have to wonder why Coach K felt the need to give props to special teams and defense. 12 has things that can be fixed, but wow.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, I agree. Whatever. I think the way, Stefanski, because I did see that kind of talking about the defense and the special teams, giving them a lot of props. I feel like maybe it's just a way to kind of, keep Shedeur hungry is the one thing I can think of, not, over celebrate him. Maybe.
I don't know about over celebrate. We're talking about a coach that won't even put him with the ones.
Yeah.
And I think anyone with any football acumen is looking at practice stats, practice film, and also that preseason game saying, all right, what's the problem? I'm not saying you should name him the starter. I'm not saying you should suck him off like, oh, he's fucking played great. No. Just give him reps with the ones. Just give him some. He's earned it.
Yeah, I'll do the glazing over here, Kevin.
Yeah,
you can
Pat will handle all the glazing. We don't need him to glaze anything, but just give him what he's earned.
Yeah,
and he's earned time with the first team offense.
Absolutely. So hopefully, let's see it this weekend, or this week rather, heading into this weekend, because I think this could be it's starting to brew, Zach. You can feel it. The Cleveland anticipation, man.
You are brewing it. What do you mean it's starting to brew?
Yeah, it's
You're
not
the one
just
that's over
me.
there cooking
There's
it
a
up.
handful of people that are buying in.
Yeah, it's fucking pedophiles. It's you and your group of pedophiles that are just brewing it up like Shedeur's going to be fucking the rookie of the year.
I'm ready to believe. Fire off the bets right now. Shedeur, rookie of the year. That's all we got super chat wise. Zach, get us on out of here on this Monday.
A nice little NFL recap episode. I love
it.
We're here every day at 9. Go ahead and subscribe because the season's just kicking off and we're doing this all year long, and we'll get even more analytical when these games matter.
Yeah.
But coming from I think I was a football coach for 14 years. I can give you a little bit of insight
into what you're talking about.
Into why we suck. Here's why the Browns suck.
Yeah.
That's going to be a segment every day. But we appreciate you, Pound Town. Hit that like button and let me know what letter grade are you giving Shedeur Sanders for his week 1 performance. We appreciate you, Pound Town. Menace out.